Following former President Donald Trump's sad announcement, low energy, very Jeb, that he would indeed run for a third time, there are polls that have come out suggesting that we may actually have a race in our hands for the Republican nomination after all. Ooh. So let me give you a couple of polls here. And again, polls are not definitive, so I got to give you that little caveat there. But an Iowa poll showed DeSantis leading Donald Trump by about 2%, 32 to 30 in a hypothetical matchup. Ooh, oh, that is a 23-point swing from June. And why? Well, it's because Ron DeSantis is one of the few bright spots for Republicans that came out of this very disappointing for them midterm election. Remember, they expected a red wave. They got a pink puddle. Work out for them. But in Florida, Ron DeSantis did very well. Now, look, you could say, yeah, but it's against Charlie Crist. Fair. But remember, if you're, a MAGA chad, if you're a supporter of Donald Trump, you're going to really parse into the details. And you're also, by the way, human nature is, a win's a win. Whether by 2 points or 20 points, doesn't matter. Crushed him, destroyed, obliterated Charlie Crist. Okay, and so that's really why a lot of people are now looking at Ron DeSantis. So that said, you sense then you have other polls. A separate YouGov poll, for example, showed again DeSantis actually beating Trump nationally, 46 to 38, and other polls from key states showed the Florida governor leading Trump. So, here we go. Now, the polling is early and is not definitive, but one thing that is definitive is the attitudes of the voters towards Ron DeSantis versus Donald Trump. And here's a little bit of a sampling of that, which might make Trump worry.
First, one word or phrase that you would use to describe Donald Trump right now.
Stay off Twitter.
Jamie from Iowa.
I was just going to say the same thing. His new one that he's on, I think he needs to take a break from that one.
Becky.
A narcissist.
Lisa.
Keep doing what you're doing.
Andrew.
Tired.
John.
Unsettling.
Melody.
High hopes.
Marie.
Mistake.
John from North Dakota.
Unrelenting.
Kathy.
Still right.
Eric.
Divisive.
Jim.
Overdone.
John from Georgia.
Fighter.
David from California.
Racist.
Jeff from Texas.
Sanctimonious.
Stacy from Indiana.
Businessman.
Nancy from Illinois.
Calculated.
All right, so that's just a response to Donald Trump. And you could see there's good, there's bad, there's some mixed. You got, for bad, overdone, racist, sanctimonious. It's funny because Donald Trump is calling Ron DeSantis Ron DeSanctimonious, as if that's like some sort of own. That's ridiculous. And that's, again, that's not even clever. And it doesn't sound good at all. Whatever happened to hits like Marco? Come on. Whatever happened to the guy who, basically called Ted Cruz's wife ugly? What happened to that guy? I don't know. Maybe he'll show up. Maybe he'll get a little energy infusion. Maybe he'll take a little Adderall. I don't know. But right now, he's not the same guy. He's not the guy that did this to Ted Cruz.
Trump called your wife ugly.
Yeah. He's not that guy. So that said, mixed. You got fighter, businessman, high hope. But what about DeSantis? So now the next video, same thing, but this time to describe DeSantis.
I'm going to do the same thing now with the governor of Florida, Ron DeSantis. I'm going to go in the exact opposite order.
Promising.
Stacy from Indiana.
Oh, geez. Interesting.
Jeff from Texas,
Badass.
Kathy from Pennsylvania,
A leader.
Eric from North Carolina,
Hopeful.
Jim from Indiana,
Rising.
John David from Georgia,
I'd say the same thing. Fighter.
David from California,
Promising.
Andrew from South Carolina,
Leader.
John from California,
Visionary.
Melody from Washington,
Amazing.
Marie from New York,
The future.
John from North Dakota,
No apologies.
Lisa from New York,
Gutsy.
Becky from Virginia,
Future of the party.
Jamie from Iowa,
Refreshing leader.
Gregory from Nevada,
Future of the party.
Whoa. There was one thing that was maybe negative here, and that was interesting. The rest, future of the party, a refreshing leader. Here comes Ron DeSantis. Now that's it. Look, I'm not going to make a determination based on a small panel of a few people, okay? But it is interesting. Here we go. We have maybe a race. Now, the Republican Party, again, the Republican Party primary is going to be very interesting. Again, assuming, this is a big if, but if Ron DeSantis runs. I do believe that he is personally going to, because he's being propped up by the donors. He's being propped up by Murdoch and the press, by the Republican politicians that are done with Trump, and they're being far more open. Again, Donald Trump is right now at the weakest that he's been since after January 6th and the impeachment. That said, did we see Donald Trump, bounce back after that? Of course we did. And so that is certainly possible. Certainly possible that he could do very well once he starts fighting Ron DeSantis, or I should say, when Ron DeSantis starts fighting back, if he even joins in this. But again, I say that I believe that Ron DeSantis will jump in because there's a lot of pressure for him to do so. If he has aspirations of power, which, again, I'm pretty sure he does. You'd have to be an idiot not to have aspirations of power if you're a Republican governor. Yeah, that's his only chance. His only chance. If he does not take this, if he does not run in this election, then he's never going to have another chance. Everybody's going to look at him as a complete and utter coward, unable to stand up to Donald Trump, like so many other Republicans who have no chance. No chance at all. Again, Donald Trump's biggest thing is that he is very, very good at unmanning Republican politicians. Very, very good at it. Or at least he was. Now, I don't know. Maybe he's lost that. And that might be his only, that might be why he's vulnerable, because he cannot do that. But again, we haven't seen that yet. We haven't seen them, really fight. Yes, they've traded a couple of barbs, but it hasn't gotten vicious. And if there's one thing I know about Republicans, is that they can get very, very vicious. And so I think as soon as there happens to be a decision on the DeSantis side, that's when the knives are really going to come out. And they're going to rip each other's face off.